Hello everybody, it's Stefan Joubert here from the Stefan Joubert Guitar Academy, and in today's video I'm going to be speaking to you about a favorite little trick of mine for the dominant 7th flat 5 chord. So this is more like if you encounter it in a bossa nova, Latin music or jazz tune. You're not really going to encounter this in rock unless you're doing a sort of fusion or a fusion metal or rock style. So it's more towards the jazz styles. Firstly, let me play the chord for you to hear the chord. So we've got a G dominant 7th with a flat 5. And I'll just outline what we've got. We've got a root note, we've got a flattened 7th, we've got a major 3rd, and we've got a flat 5. Just a word on that flat 5. In reality, that is actually a sharp 4 in the scale context. But in jazz, we call it a flat 5 just to make it easy, because in the dominant 7th chord, we don't add the natural or the perfect 5th in there. And the reason for that is because that will just, you could add it, but especially on the guitar, we don't have enough space for that. It works with the Lydian dominant scale. The Lydian dominant scale consists out of a root, a major 2nd, a major 3rd, a sharp 4th, a perfect 5th. This is the sharp 4 that we call the flat 5 in this context. It sounds a bit complex, but don't worry. If you hear G7 flat 5 or G7 sharp 11th, it's basically the same thing. So sharp 4, 5, major 6th, minor 7th. So that's the scale. It's quite a beautiful scale, and it's used a lot in jazz and Latin music. So the little trick I want to show you is a little method of improvising over the G7 flat 5. You've got the chord there. It's G, 3rd fret on the 6th string. So what I do is I go down 2 semitones. 1, 2. I get to the flat 7th of G, which is an F. Just one more time. This is G, which is the root note. Semitone down to the F. And then all I do is I play the 1st finger and the 3rd finger. And then I go to the next string and I do the same thing. I play the 1st finger and the 3rd finger. But instead of just playing it adjacently, I also move up a semitone. So I do 1st fret, 3rd fret, then I go 2nd fret, 4th fret. And I continue 3rd fret, 5th fret, 4th fret, 6th fret. Let me repeat that. So that's 1, 3, I'm talking about frets, 2, 4, 3, 5, 4, 6. That's pretty simple. It's all just a, you're playing 1st finger, 3rd finger, 1st finger, 3rd finger, and you're just diagonally moving it up. When you get to the 3rd string, you need to take into account that the tuning is no longer going to be a perfect 4th. So the G to the B, that's a major 3rd, where everything else, E to A was a perfect 4th, A to D was a perfect 4th, D to G was a perfect 4th. Now the G to the B is a major 3rd, which means we need to compensate a half a step for that string. So we can play everything in that pattern up to there. When we get to this point, 4, 6, then we jump directly 2. So we go 4, 6, and then we go 6, 8. And then we can continue 7, 9. So it's pretty symmetrical. But when you get to that point, you can visualize that finger and just jump where that finger is, and then continue the pattern. And it's got a beautiful tone on that G7 flat 5. So let me run that through one more time. You've got 1, 3. Remember, this is G dominant 7 flat 9. 2, 4, 3, 5, 4, 6, jump, 6, 8, 7, 9. And I can come back as well. Again, in the description below, there will be some tablature for you to download, a PDF file that you can just download, put in a folder, and study at a later stage. Maybe you can print it out, or you can put it on your device for later study. So you'll anyway be able to follow along with the video. So that's the scale there. We can also play it 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4. But fingers 1 and 3 works just as well. And I think, when you use these 2 fingers, that gives you strength. Django Reinhardt, he lost the use of these 2 fingers. He could use them for a bit of chordal work, but not for lead. So he was left with these 2 fingers to play his lead lines. And if you listen to some of his recordings, it's super fast. But the one thing that was a big advantage is because he used the index finger and the middle finger, his lines were super solid. So by using 4 fingers, we might be able to do more than he could do. But he had so much strength because he was using the 2 strongest fingers and making that work. So again, there's a little lesson in anything is possible. Now, I'm just going to play on the G7 flat 5 for you. So we've got the G7 flat 5 in the background, and I'll just play the line for you over it. What do we have? We've got a flattened 7th, we've got a root, we've got a major 3rd, and we have a flat 5, could be called a sharp 4, but let's keep it easy. Flat 7th, a root, major 3rd and flat 5. So what are we doing? We're literally outlining the arpeggio of the chord, but in an easy formation of the fingers. And what we can do next, and I'll just pause the recording, is to basically play the G7 flat 5 moving to an F sharp major 7. So I'm doing G7 flat 5 moving to F sharp major 7. Often that would be in a 2-5-1 context, where you would have a G sharp minor 7 or G sharp minor 11 as this case, and then we'd have the G7 flat 5 moving to an F sharp major 7th. And that would be called a tritone sub or substitution. That's for a whole other video. I can't explain that here, otherwise I'll miss the concept of what we're working on. But I'm going to now play over a G7 going to an F sharp major 7, so you can just hear what the Lydian dominant scale sound going into an Ionian mode or a major scale. So here we go. G7 flat 5, to F sharp major 7th, there's our Lydian dominant, F sharp major 7th. What we can see is that it's a wonderful little tool. Whenever you've got the G7 flat 5, you can play that arpeggio And then you can just release that back into a Ionian mode, or like a major arpeggio. And you can hear between that release when it gets back to the major 7th chord. So again, whenever you have that dominant 7th flat 5, you do the 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, 5, 4, 6, 6, 8, 7, 9, that diagonal line, and that could release when it gets to the major chord. So a beautiful little trick for you to work on and to try and implement in your own playing. One can have lots and lots of fun with these things. I think one of the keys with improvisation is to do a lot of experimentation. So when you practice your improvisation, one trick that you can do is to limit yourself to say, okay, I'm just going to do this and this and this over this chord sequence, and you try. Then you pause the backing track, and then you try something else again. But it's important not to keep playing the same things, to open other avenues on the guitar neck. So that's the little trick for today's lesson on the dominant 7th flat 5. Wishing you the greatest of success in your guitar playing, and have a fantastic time and a fantastic day. And remember, it's just step by step, your guitar playing will get better. Just keep going, keep focusing, and if you need some help, don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to set up an introductory lesson. I can always help you get to know the neck so much better. And just keep going. The biggest success is just to keep on practicing and keep on working on your playing. And then in time, miracles will happen in your guitar journey. Have a great day or evening or morning, wherever you are in the world. I'll speak to you in the next video.